Once an application has been developed, it can then be tested with functional automation. Once the user logs in, they can then start to work within projects that map to their application. The user starts by learning objects using the Test Case Manager utility, which scans an application and attempts to learn all the object property information off of a web page. The end result of the process is a neatly formatted CSV file that can be used for importing. This keeps an association of pages and objects on the page. A user would then go in to the Test Case Manager section and upload the CSV file that was automatically created for them. This is a view of an end result from the Geico application that has all the elements organized by page and then the objects that are on that page. It also holds all of their property information. A user can edit this section or add new objects. The next thing that a user would do is actually create a test case referencing those objects that were just learned. Here's an example of a few test cases that already exist. Notice the order on the left panel is the pages, and on the right side are the individual steps on those pages, and when they're strung together they form an entire test case. Once test cases are created, users can then organize them into suites. A test suite is just a logical grouping of test cases that should be run together in order to meet some type of test plan. The customer ultimately decides what their test plan should be and what test cases belong inside of suites. The user has the ability to edit any of the information to make sure that things are logically grouped. The next section that a user would go into is a test run, and being able to define those test runs means organizing suites into execution environments, as well as specifying the type of operating system and browser combination that they should be running on. A user goes through a build execution flow where they specify just that. In this case, we are selecting what could be a customer's local Selenium grid, specifying the type of operating system connected to that grid, and then the browser that they want to execute on. Test Case Manager also integrates with outside vendors such as Sauce Labs and BrowserStack. In this case, I'm kicking off 3 executions at once, one that runs on a local grid, one that runs on Sauce Labs, and one that runs on BrowserStack. As you can see, the icons change once we do execute, and as they finish up, they will then their icons will change and they will look like reports. When we click on a report, we can see all the steps that were executed in the test cases, the status of each step along the way, all the way down to the end of the test case, and a screenshot every time one step was executed so we can see exactly what occurred during that particular step. Additionally, we provide access to a test-ng report, which is standard for a lot of automation engineers, and so we keep that around. In addition to web execution, we can also see we do very similar type of flow for a mobile project. In this case, we're looking at a mobile project that had objects. The test case steps look very similar to what was done for web. We group everything into suites, and where things start to differ a little bit is the execution environments we send these to, because these are running on actual physical devices. In this example, we're showing our integration with Device Farm, a very popular device automation platform for executing scripts like Appium on real physical devices. So in order to accomplish this, we need to create an execution package that is acceptable to run in the Device Farm environment. That's what TCM is doing here. It actually creates a executable download, which the user can access, and then it very quickly gets uploaded into Device Farm, where it will kick off an initial execution. At the end of the execution, we can then start to look at the results. The results can be screenshots, or in this case is a video execution of what actually occurred. This is a video of the automation running on our very simple application that does a login and a verification. That essentially concludes the capabilities of Trident's Test Case Manager and functional automation.